Hello, Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you people? I hope you people will be fine. Or it has been a long time. Today I'm going to upload a lecture of second year, and we will be discussing the structure of skeletal muscles. I will be uploading some of the complicated topics so that they can be easy for you people to understand. So first of all, let me go to the share screen. This topic will be completed in one or two lectures. I won't be uploading very long videos so that it can be easy for you people. Today, I will give you the introduction of the structure of the skeletal muscles. Going to the share screen, first of all, let us go to the presentation and let us see what we have in the presentation. And from the presentation, then we will come to the board. The skeletal muscles that we have in the human, we are going to study the skeletal muscles of the human body. The human body is made up of different types of, it is made up of different types of muscles. These are the smooth muscles, the skeletal muscles, the cardiac muscles. What type of muscles? Three main types of muscles: the smooth muscles, the skeletal muscles, the cardiac muscles. These are the main types of muscles that are found in the human body, and these muscles, they serve in all types of functions for the human body. In these muscles, the smooth and the cardiac muscles, they are involuntary in action, whereas the skeletal muscles are voluntary. That is, we can control the skeletal muscles according to our own will. And the skeletal muscles, they are attached to the bones. They are attached to the skeleton. That is why they are known as the skeletal muscles. One other thing I would want to tell you people is that these skeletal muscles, they are seen to be striated. Striated means they are striped. These are striped. They show a striped arrangement. They show an alternative arrangement of dark and light regions, a regular alternation of dark and light regions. The cardiac muscles are also striated. Cardiac muscles are also striated, but the difference between the cardiac striation and the skeletal striation is that the cardiac muscles are irregularly striated. They are not regularly striated. Okay, the cardiac muscles, they show irregular striation, and the smooth muscle, the skeletal muscles, they show a regular striation. When we observe the skeletal muscle inside the body, sorry, the skeletal muscle shows a regular striation. I said the smooth muscle, it is a skeletal muscle. The cardiac muscles, they do not show regular striation, they are irregularly striated regions. These dark and light regions that are observed in the skeletal muscle, what is the reason between this? The reason is that it is the presence of various kinds of proteins, which we will be discussing in the ultrastructure. I will explain the formation of these striations and why we observe these different regions inside the skeletal muscle. First of all, what we observe in the skeletal muscle is be very careful now and attentive. This, we observe the skeletal bundle. The main muscle that we observe is the skeletal bundle. And this skeletal bundle, when we go into the skeletal bundle, we see that it is made up of smaller bundles also. It is made up of smaller bundles. And inside those smaller bundles, we have even more tiny bundles, tiny fibers present inside them. This is a muscle bundle. Inside the muscle bundle, in the smaller bundle that we have, that smaller bundle, it is known as the fascicle. It is known as the fascicle, the smaller bundle. It is known as the fascicle. The fascicle. When we observe the fascicle inside, we see that the fascicle is made up of even more smaller fibers, which are known as the muscle fibers. They are known as the muscle fibers. Inside the fascicle, we see that they are made up of the muscle fiber. The muscle fiber is also known as the muscle cell. The muscle fiber is also known as the muscle cell. And inside this muscle cell, we have the sarcoplasm, which is the cytoplasm. we have the sarcoplasm, and inside the sarcoplasm, we have the muscle cell mitochondria, which are called the sarcosomes. They are called the sarcosomes. We have the sarcosomes present inside the inside the sarcoplasm. The sarcoplasm is the cytoplasmic region which is present inside the muscle fiber. The muscle fiber is also known as the muscle cell. It is the elongated cells which are known as the muscle cells. These are the individual structures of the skeletal muscle. Inside the muscle cells or the muscle fiber, we have the sarcoplasm, and then we have many sarcosomes present inside, which are the mitochondria. Inside these muscle fibers, we have special types of protein fibrils also. These are small protein structures. These protein structures are known as the fibrils, specifically known as the myofibrils. They are known as the myofibrils. These myofibrils, they are thin thread-like structures, and it is on these myofibrils that we observe striations. It is on these myofibrils that we observe striations. These myofibrils are made up of two small different types of proteins, which are known as the myofilaments. They are known as the myofilaments. These myofilaments are present inside the myofibrils. These myofilaments, there are two types. This is the myosin and the actin. Okay? Myosin and actin. Myosin and actin proteins are present inside the myofibrils, and these are the proteins that give rise to the striations. Now, what do we have? We have the muscle bundle. Inner to the muscle bundle, we have the fascicles, that is a smaller bundle. Inner to the fascicle, we have tiny fibers present inside, which are the muscle fibers. Inner to the muscle fiber, we have the myofibrils. Inner to the myofibrils, we have the myofilament. This is the organization of the skeletal muscle, starting from the muscle bundle up to the myosin and actin, right? Now, let me go to the presentation and let us see what we have in the presentation now. Right, let us go to the presentation and then I will show you what we have in the presentation. Right. The structure of the muscle fiber. Each muscle is made up of bundles of fibers. Now, this is a muscle bundle. This is a fascicle, which is covered by an outer strong connective tissue, which is known as a fascia. Okay, so this is the muscle. This is the fascicle. Inside the fascicle, this is the muscle bundle, the muscle fiber. And inside this muscle fiber, we have the sarcoplasm. In the sarcoplasm, we have myofilaments, and the myofilaments that we have inside the myofibrils and then the myofilaments. The myofilaments are made up of actin and myosin. This is what we will do today. In the next lecture, I will give you the detail of the muscle fibers. Now, the muscle fiber, group of muscle fibers enclosed and inside the forming the fascicle. Then many fascicles together, they come together and they form the muscle bundle. Now, the muscle bundle is covered externally by a tough tissue, protein tissue, which is known as the epimysium. This is the epimysium. Then inner to that, the fascicles, the region where the fascicles are present, it is covered by the perimysium. It is covered by the perimysium. And then look here, the individual muscle fibers are covered by the endomysium. Four more new words. That is the epimysium, the perimysium, and then the endomysium. The three new words. Now, the muscle bundle extends at its terminals. It extends into a tough connective tissue, which is known as the tendon. The tendon is actually an extension of the muscle bundle, and it serves to attach the muscle to the bone. It serves to attach the muscle to the bone. Now, let me go back to the board and then let us discuss one more thing, and then we'll come back to the presentation again. Now, we have talked about the muscle fiber. The muscle fiber, which is known as the muscle cell. The muscle fiber is externally. Now, let me go to the other side of the board. Yes, the muscle fiber. muscle fiber, it is externally covered by the cell membrane. In this case, normally we call it the plasmalemma or the cell membrane, but in this case we will call it the sarcolemma. We'll call it the sarcolemma, the outer covering of the muscle cell. This sarcolemma shows kinds of T-shaped depressions. It shows invaginations. If I draw the diagram, I will show you. Let me draw the diagram here. If this is the muscle fiber, it shows invaginations inside like that. These invaginations are present in the sarcoplasm, and these invaginations go deep down into the muscle fiber. These invaginations, they have a very special function in the reception of stimuli. These invaginations are known as the T-tubules or the transverse tubules because of the shape. What are they known as? They are known as the T-tubules or the transverse tubule, the muscle fiber covered by the sarcolemma, and then it has depressions which are called the T-tubules. These are called the T-tubules. Now, inside the sarcolemma, we have the cytoplasm, which is called the sarcoplasm. It is called the sarcoplasm. The sarcoplasm contains all the organelles, and most commonly it contains mitochondria and glycogen. Why glycogen? Because the muscles need a lot of energy for muscle contraction. And then mitochondria, because mitochondria is going to carry on the whole process to break down the glycogen and release energy. A lot of mitochondria, which I told you, are known as sarcosomes. They are present inside the sarcoplasm of the muscle fiber. Right? This T-tubule is also present inside the muscle fiber. It is present in the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. Now, inside the muscle fiber, we have the special types of tiny fibers, even smaller fibers, which are known as the myofibrils. These myofibrils are made up of two different types of protein threads, which are known as the myofilaments. These myofilaments are of two types, the myosin and the actin. Due to the arrangement of these myosin and actin, we can see dark and light bands on the muscle. We can see dark and light bands on the muscle. These bands, at present, I will just tell you that the dark area contains the myosin filament and the light area contains the actin filament. Okay, this is what we will do today. In the next class, we will continue from here and then we will carry on the lecture from this point. Okay, students, see you next time.